again, you've got a rockin' 5th District NILSA bill. Please help me welcome another great leader, another bill, Assemblyman Bill Moen. Bill.
Good morning, everyone. The governor asked me how my daughter's doing. She's 3 months old, and actually didn't get much sleep last night, so bear with me. And so it's always a pleasure to be here in the chambers in Camden City Hall. And we know how much local government means to the work that we all do. We know here, probably more so than anywhere, I would argue in the state, potentially anywhere in the nation, that teamwork occurs. Teamwork is a perfect example of what we are looking at today. It's truly what we're discussing. And so, to understand, I think, the impact behind why we're here today and ultimately what we're talking about, I want to just take a moment. As we've heard, there are a number of different examples of what this funding will be applied to and why it's beneficial. I'd like to just concentrate on two very quick points. When we talk about transportation, road improvements, this funding will end up providing the ability for our city here in Camden to repair and upgrade 43 residential streets across the city. So think about that for a second. And so when you put that in perspective, think about our children going to school, our families going to work, and the trouble that they encounter throughout the day, and that added stress that comes from some of the issues that we encounter through our roadways. So it's an important piece to consider. So the funds will be used for that purpose, investing in quality, safe roadways, which I know from my former colleagues at the county level is something that we concentrate on consistently across all levels of government. It's important to just keep that in mind, that this is going to do that. This is that impact as a resident walks out the front door, that they'll see this. The other area that I'd like to talk about, and Assemblyman Spearman mentioned a couple of the bills that our governor has signed into law. One that I want to focus on is tied to legal dumping. And we all are very aware of the implication that that has here in the city of Camden. $4 million every year the city of Camden pays to clean up illegal dumping. We've worked with the governor and my legislative colleagues over the last year to have a law produced that ultimately will address that issue by raising penalties on those who are dumping, providing added protections to those who we would consider would be victims that would have to find themselves cleaning up these sites. And these just aren't homeowners, folks. Think about public spaces. Think about the fact that the city and the county has to spend money to clean up these projects. And it's unacceptable. And so we worked on legislation that the governor ultimately signed to fix this. And so let me paint a picture for you. Couple that together with the federal funding that Congressman Norcross delivered to ultimately provide cameras to catch those in the act of doing this. Put that together with the law that we have in place that will address in the courts and at our local governmental levels the ability to catch, enforce, and ultimately pay for these projects. Pay meaning those who are committing these crimes. Now add this funding into that. And what this does is it allows for those sites to be remediated. So I'm painting an equation for you of how this combined together, these efforts, this team effort creates that possibility there. And so I think that's a perfect example to really work with here. The last thing I'll mention is there's a quote that's by Walt Whitman, and I think for those that know that are from Camden, that we can pretty much see his home from out the windows here at City Hall. If you take the elevator up a few more floors. And so when I think of today and what this means, there's a quote by Walt Whitman from his work, Weeds of Grass, and which goes as follows. The strongest and sweetest songs yet remain to be sung. That's Camden today.